welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. My name is Mark Storrs, and hanging out with me as always is
Rob Morphy.
Robert, thank you so much. And
the Chris.
Looking, as we indicated earlier, as if David Tell was working for Halliburton during the height of the last skirmishes over there.
For those of you seeing the video of this,
true.
yes, we have Black Ops Chris.
Yes, we do.
He's here.
Yeah. He was crawling in the hallways. I was
crawling in the bathroom for the last fucking 20 minutes.
Hey, he was too.
He had to go to the bathroom for 20 minutes, which is probably enough time to kill a man.
Hey, it could be.
So do you think he maybe went down the street somewhere, killed someone, then came back and was like, oh, sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was definitely breaking some Geneva Convention. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at the zipper on your sleeve. Jesus Christ.
Let's stop
What's
talking
the zipper
about
on
it.
the sleeve for? Is that for ammunition?
For dirks.
Do you keep dirks?
That's where you keep the
Dude,
dirks.
bomber jackets. You hide things.
It's true.
C4. Fucking
thermite
chips, some kind of microchips,
miniature tanks,
just chips, not potato chips.
Yeah,
stealth
salt vinegar,
some stealth drones and whatnot. Thank you for joining us, Cryptonaut podcast. We're back. We're doing it. Super fun episode. Going back to the bread and butter.
Oh yeah,
going back to what made us us.
Meat and potatoes.
And this actually is been on the list for quite a while. We have a bit of a history, a joined history.
We do
with this enigmatic entity. And this week, folks, we're talking about Sheepsquatch, the birth of a legend.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
And people have asked for this for quite a while. I'm super stoked to cover this. One of my favorites. I love the hybrid. I love the hybrid squatch, the bat squatch, the sheep squatch, the
Draco squatch.
Draco
squatch. Yeah. Whenever you mix anything with a squatch, which I guess really is just the sheep and the bat. Wasn't there another squatch though?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'll be mentioning this later, but mentioning this later, not menching. I don't even know what that is.
Mench out.
Cool.
Out.
Yeah.
Octosquatch. My contribution to the pantheon of squatch.
Oh, that's right. The octos. How did I forget?
How did you forget?
Oh, I feel like I betrayed the octosquatch.
So you've been wanting a sheep
bit.
squatch literally since the third week we've done this podcast.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And so finally, as a tribute to you and the people out there that, enjoy the crypto antics, I thought it was time to put my fucking mark in the sand so that you, Chris, and I, as a collective, can go out there and delineate what is a sheep squatch, what is not a fucking sheep squatch.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Okay.
And the reason for this is because I wasn't there in time for Chupacabra.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
I know. And
I missed that boat.
You were there for Sheepsquatch.
Absolutely.
Well,
technically, I was there for Blue Dog Chupacabra, but I didn't do enough. I did what I could from my little corner of the internet, but clearly I didn't do enough, and now everything's a fucking Chupacabra.
Yeah, all dogs you don't know about.
All the dogs you don't know about. All the kangaroos you don't recognize.
Yeah.
All the wallabies you want to get to know better.
Yeah.
All chups. All the time.
All of them. Every jackal is a chup.
And I can't have this happening. Yeah, they are. They're like shit jackals. They really are.
Crap jackal.
Crap jackal, yeah.
Copyright Christopher Carnicelli.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get started with this bizarre multi-horned, razor-toothed, woolly white beast is said to stalk the forested areas of the American South and remains one of the most enigmatic and potentially dangerous as yet unidentified large mammals said to dwell in the untamed wilds of the good old U.S. of A.
U.S. of A.
Yeah.
Dang.
America.
There it is, America. We're doing it,
all the way through. Deep South America.
Yeah.
Like
for sure.
old school regional cryptids. And there's a history here, and it's interesting. So I'm just going to jump in, and we're going to do a little bit of history, as we're wont to do, and then we're going to explore the sightings, and then we're just going to have a good time.
All right, man. Well, here it is, Sheepsquatch. We're doing it. Strap in, and let's get started. Robert.
Like the notorious goatmen, who are known to frequent such far-flung places as Maryland, Michigan, and Texas, among others, Sheepsquatch are said to be a head-scratching synthesis of predator and prey species. Idiosyncratic animals that blend seemingly incompatible branches of evolution, horn-bearing, side-eyed prey species, and toothy, claw-bearing predators, which, depending on which source you consult, may be the result of an evolutionary aberration, an ancient curse, a dark spell gone horribly awry, or the cliched, albeit glorious, 1950s sci-fi staple of a secret government genetics experiment rung wholly amok to the chagrin of unsuspecting locals and their livestock. So we've got a plethora of where the shit might have come from.
A lot of possibilities here.
Though, in all fairness, it does date back quite a ways. So probably not the sci-fi paradigm that gave us the goatmen of at least Maryland and I think a few other places, and the chupacabra of Puerto Rico fame, which were both supposed to be escapees from secret government, U.S. government, dark budget labs.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Okay. Probably not the case with the Sheepsquatch.
Well, I mean, the truth is out there, sir.
And we're going to explore it.
There you go.
But unlike the now legendary Lover's Lane lurkers known as the Goatmen, with which Sheepsquatch stories have, for reasons, become nearly inextricably intertwined, the species that we'll be dealing with today are, to all indications, mostly quadrupedal omnivores with the ability to rear up on their hind legs and occasionally, often awkwardly, sometimes nimbly, maneuver like a well-trained bear. Like one of those terrible circus bears that were tortured into walking on their hind legs. Yeah. Just so we know. Not that we support it. Unlike the more ubiquitous goatmen, however, there is, as far as anyone can ascertain, nary a trace of human or any other primate DNA in their, as of now, still mythical bones. And no, I'm not a supporter of fucking blackfish or fucking circuses.
None of us are, dude. Yeah. None of us are.
Okay, well, why were you giggling?
Just because the way you put it out,
I'm just saying.
Like, we don't support this. We're just saying it looks like one of these things.
I mean, I've seen bears in skirts dancing on a ball in archival footage, and you know what? I frown.
As do we all.
Do you,
sir? As do we all.
Well, all right.
We all mourn for the dancing bear.
All right, well, talk about it while I drink.
Discuss
amongst yourselves the dancing bear.
We all mourn for the dancing bear. We've never seen ever in real life.
Well, now it is. That's going to be a new t-shirt. HellerSpace.com.
All right, getting back to history.
Here we go.
Though reports hail from Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, and various other southern states, the preponderance of sightings indicate that a presumably small but robust colony of these things are lurking along the border between Southwest Virginia and West Virginia. This mountainous, densely forested region is dotted with cavernous coal mines and deep, dark stretches of treacherous woodland that are shrouded in mystery and could very easily conceal a creature of prodigious size and voracious appetites. It's also the kind of place where people can vanish in the blink of an eye, never to be seen again, all of which has led locals to concoct a rich tradition of folklore. Some of it apocryphal, others potentially all too real. Considering all of this, it should come as no surprise that, though there are hundreds of explicable reasons for these many disappearances, more than a few have been chalked up to nefarious and as yet unknown entities. And ranking pretty high on that list is a spectrum of similarly hued, anomalous animals that for centuries throughout the South were simply lumped together and collectively referred to as white things, or more ominously, white devils. These pale critters come in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, with names like the Morgan Ridge Monster and the Kanawha County Creature that still strike fear into the hearts of locals. But for our purposes, we'll be focusing in on a more narrow and relatively recent band of sightings dealing with a highly aggressive subspecies of white thing, better known, recently at least in popular culture, as the Sheepsquatch. On the surface, it's hard not to take this odd and ridiculously named animal with a smirk and a grain of salt. But according to legend, this bulky and occasionally bellicose beast is very real and has been chronicled via word of mouth and folklore throughout the Virginias and adjacent areas for centuries. Though few outside the vast expanse of the Appalachian Plateau had ever heard of this as yet unclassified critter, that is, until accounts of this thing appeared on the Travel Channel series Monsters and Mysteries in America in the 2010s.
Oh, we know about this.
We do.
We do.
Full disclosure. On the series' inaugural episode titled Appalachia, I'm just going to go with Appalachia, Sheepsquatch, Kentucky Green Men, Mothman, which aired on March 24th, 2013, I served as a consultant and illustrator. That having been said, my contributions had nothing to do with the infamous Sheepsquatch sequence brought to life via eyewitness testimony, dramatic reenactment, and what was honestly a pretty dope fucking goat man meets bloody Maud Wampa costume, which was really fucking pretty cool.
It is awesome.
That involved 2 Breckinridge County, Kentucky teens who claimed to have had a series of terrifying life and death encounters with one of the creatures in question. It was these incidents, or more specifically, the dramatic reenactments of said incidents, which we'll be dealing with in greater detail in a little bit, that have, more than anything else in my opinion, served to conflate the conception of the Sheepsquatch with that of the more fanciful, satyr-esque, suburban legends of goatmen.
Are we going to be, spoiler alerts, getting to machetes?
Machetes?
Yeah, and the reenactments, the kids in their machetes.
Oh yeah, they used machetes.
There's a lot of machete action in
There
there.
really is.
Dude, this is my machete. My name's Dan Machete. I come from a long line of machetes.
Oh,
I drive a machete. I worship a machete. My wife's a machete.
We will not be broaching
I drive a
reenactments
machete.
that heavily featured machete-like
There's
blades.
a lot of machete action.
I eat machetes.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm serious.
No.
Every morning I eat a goddamn bowl of machetes. I wear machetes on my feet. Dude,
I go hunt for the machete so I can go hunt for the Sheepsquatch
dude, seriously, it was
and the goatmen.
It was machete fucking heavy.
No, I
man.
agree.
Like,
No, and they didn't discuss it though. It was
No.
just what was shown.
it was just what they did.
them with blades.
They're just hanging out with fucking
Machetes ahoy.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It was machete.
That's the forest weapon, man. That is
I know, but they
the penultimate forest melee weapon is a machete.
It is. It really is.
Machete-thon
Well,
2013 was definitely in full effect
it was
when that show came out.
Yeah, no, it was featured heavily
Mhm.
in this. So okay,
Yes.
cool. Just wanted to get the machete out of the way.
No, we're not going to be dealing with machetes in any great way.
Nice.
No, right. But before we delve deeper into specific encounters, I think it behooves us to establish a baseline where we designate which specific attributes differentiate the evolutionary offshoots known as Sheepsquatch from other allegedly similar paranatural entities with which they are often confused, such as goatmen, Bigfoot, white dogs, and devil dogs. There's a difference.
Yeah,
To do so, we will refer to local lore and, more significantly, eyewitness accounts. I just wanted to put you on the spot there.
No, I know, because we've talked about this a couple times this week, and you've made it abundantly clear that you are setting the goddamn record straight. You went into this with a man of action.
We are going to have guideposts.
You have an agenda.
Now, after I'm done with this, I can't choose where people want to throw their Sheepsquatch.
I know.
That's up to them.
I know.
I'm not here to take away individual freedoms.
No.
That's not Uncle Bobby's jam.
You're just given the information.
But I am giving you a clear fucking road to follow.
It's okay, man. I am with you on this quest.
And if you choose to ignore it, it's at your own peril.
Okay. Well, as you look deeply into the camera.
All right. So now that it's visual, I can use all.
I know. No,
all the tools.
I was wondering why you weren't looking at me, and then I realized you're looking into your camera.
Yeah, sometimes
It's okay.
I have to.
It's all right. I like it. Address the audience.
Observers describe Sheepsquatch as being bear-sized, mostly quadrupedal mammals equipped with large, razor-sharp teeth and massive craniums that are essentially a synthesis of goat and grizzly. Although most accounts agree that its side-facing eyes are set noticeably lower in its head than that of a typical Ursidae, lending it a more bison-like quality. So more than a typical bear.
Okay.
It's
right.
like the eyes are set a little lower,
Yeah.
giving it sort of a buffalo vibe,
Gotcha.
according to some
All
eyewitnesses.
right. Well, yeah, because buffaloes have super weird fucking eye head
And the super
things.
weird giant head thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. Honestly,
their heads are enormous.
so, just to confess further things that I don't know besides geography, when I see a buffalo in my head, they're like a flounder or something. It's like just a big bulk where the head just, boom, goes right off.
The heads
It's
are
big. I know it's got a head that sticks out. I can see it. I mean,
Yeah.
I get what a buffalo is, but in my mind, it's like this big torso with a head that just fucking lunges
Maybe
out.
we'll go
of
to
it.
the zoo one day. I think they have some up in Syracuse at the Rosemont Zoo.
I'd like to
go.
meet a buffalo.
I'm pretty sure I pet one there.
Are they an American buffalo?
Oh, I don't know.
Or are they a beefalo?
I don't know. I think
The
they're.
lie of the plains.
Oh man.
Yeah, nobody wants a beefalo. Good for eating, not much else.
I'm pretty sure it's just a standard buffalo.
All right.
I can't confirm.
Standard buffalo.
I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right.
Okay.
Go Bills.
These things are also said to be covered in a coarse coat of filthy off-white, or perhaps, according to its personal hygiene, yellow fur. pissy. Yeah, I'm saying it.
All right.
It's this often muddy, matted mess of wool-like hair that is likely responsible for these muttony monsters receiving their Sheepsquatch moniker. Just going out there on a limb.
No, that would make sense. I mean,
it looks like shitty wool. Have you ever seen shit wool on a fucking sheet?
I mean,
as you're driving by.
Most of their wool is not shining Snow White
it's
anyway.
not white. No, it's disgusting. They roll around their own shit. They shit on each other.
Exactly.
It's a whole thing.
So the myth of Little Bo Peep aside, they do shit on each other. Projectile shit on each other constantly. Yeah. It's science.
It's how they mark their fucking territory and say hello and I love you.
That's how they flirt. They just shit on each other. Just shoot shit right at each other. Right. Projectile.
Wow.
It's terrible.
Good thing we have experts on this fucking pod.
I mean, it's science.
Yeah, no, nailed it.
So now we know why they're called Sheepsquatch.
Right.
Okay.
Just can't get it out of my head.
We're just
projectile
shitting on each other.
Pure fucking projectile shit. Okay. So far, so good. These animals are strange, but acceptably so. We're either dealing with a mutant species of bear or an unknown subspecies of ovine, or on a very long shot, a heretofore unidentified Appalachian predator that inexplicably combines the attributes of both. It's at this point, however, that the description takes a turn toward the truly gonzo. Multiple observers have testified that this hybrid beast does not have the broad paws of a typical bear, but hands that seem more sophisticated, dexterous, almost like that of a raccoon combined with the hooked claws of a grizzly.
Oh, that's...
So they got little coon, big raccoon hands.
Yeah,
bear claw.
And little raccoon hands, they can manipulate locks, and they can open your phone and
manipulate locks.
Oh, they can
they can definitely.
That's even worse than what I said.
Dumpster lids, to be sure.
Well, they have hands.
I've seen them do it.
Grab food and they eat with their hands.
I mean, they've got hands. So you got these big old hands, not baby little raccoon hands on a big old creature, but big old raccoon hands with claws at the end.
That's a dangerous combo, right?
It sure
there.
seems that way. Yeah. So that's fucked up.
They got thumbs.
Okay. Even less explicably, it is said to have two huge horns sticking out of the top of its skull like those of a juvenile goat. And so I will just say this here, even though I will add something else. The spirally ram horns, often seen in reenactments and illustrations, a myth. Some bullshit.
Just some regular ram horns.
Throw that shit away.
Some Tim Curry type horns.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, no, Tim Curry, they're like longhorn steer. That's a big horn.
Right.
Fucking devil. No, I mean like the spiral ram horns that are so often seen.
This just has these big horns.
Well, they probably go back, I'm assuming, right? The goat ones, they kind of just go back
they just go back a little and point it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Just little mean pokey horns.
And the internet lied to us.
It always does.
It does.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the other thing we had to deal with. Further removing the thought that this might be some kind of mutated bear or even remotely Sasquatch related is the fact that this creature is said to have a long hairless tail resembling that of an opossum.
Oh, my favorite.
My dreaded enemy. The most hateful creature on earth. I'm not going to be corralled into a corner on this. I know.
I'm going to bring one into the studio and I'm going to make it your friend.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be your friend.
I'm going to punch it so hard.
You're going to fucking
I'm not going to punch it.
You're going to hug it and you're going to
I would be
love
friend
it.
with any. I would be friend
and you're
going
to scratch his little belly.
Is it going to be tame?
Of course.
Is it going to be something you capture at the shit plant, throw in a fucking cage, bring into the studio, and now I got to deal with it?
I might actually do that.
All right, so I'm not going to touch it.
Okay, no, I don't want that. I don't want feral fucking things in here.
I'm going to give you a heads up. Don't worry, you'll be at home. Be like, hey, Rob, early podcast. Chris, stay home. I got the opossum.
Chris, stay home. I'm going to put it in the fridge. He's going to grab a bottle of water. Yeah. He's going to hiss.
And then he's going to be forced to come to terms with it and love it on a level. They only live 3 years, man. It's a bummer.
All animals die early.
No, these things specifically, they only live 3 years. They don't get rabies.
Parrots
and they actually are like...
Really? Just 3 years?
Yeah, no, they're fairly...
I feel bad.
And they're fairly chill.
Because even like cats and dogs get a decade plus.
They don't really... Yeah. I mean, their whole defense mechanism is they play dead so they just like leave it alone. They're not attacking you.
Then why do they hiss and hate?
Well, I don't know, maybe just, that they got babies or something.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we should open our hearts and minds.
All right. I
have no problems.
Maybe reassess the opossum stance.
Okay, cool.
Maybe.
Cool. You're growing. I like this.
And I'm going to continue.
Yes.
As if all of the above weren't already weird enough, there are multiple eyewitnesses who claim that these creatures have no less than 2 sets of eyes wedged into their massive skulls.
Dude, I
Okay.
like this.
Oh, yeah. We'll be referring to other four-eyed fuckballs.
Yeah, I like this, dude.
Bizarre as it already is, bad movie lovers will lament that these beasts bear only a passing resemblance to the titular 8-foot-tall mutated sheep monster that terrified the residents of a small northern Nevada town in Frederick Hobbs' 1973 anti-classic, The God Monster of Indian Flats. And if you haven't seen it, boy, I'm going to have a hard time actively recommending watching it.
I was gonna say,
But I will say this.
I don't think I've seen it, but
as
I
a
want to.
lover of lousy, I think it was released by Something Weird Video back in the 90s, of lousy monster movies, especially made in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Yeah.
And this is definitely early 70s, as aforementioned. It is the shittiest, most hulking fuck all of a monster ever. And if you love lousy monster movies, fucking do it.
Dude, it
God
sounds,
Monster of Indian Flats.
It sounds
I think it's
amazing.
even on YouTube for free if you want to just
all right.
All right, cool.
watch it.
Fucking
So whatever.
Sounds fucking dope, dude.
So all right, there's that. But that made me sad that it didn't really look like that. Though there are some marked similarities in its layered pelt, in the sense that this monster was made out of really shitty sheep wool and lots of it being kind of layered on its back.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is what this thing looks like.
All right, cool.
Finally, to add to the Sheepsquatch's overall lack of appeal, many observers also claim that these creatures reek of sulfur, which, while almost certainly invoking diabolical forces in theological circles, may more prosaically be connected with either environmental pollution or these things merely having musk scent glands similar to those found in skunks. So don't just assume the sulfur's the demon.
No, I mean, if this thing lives in the woods and frolics in all kinds of different rivers and causeways and shit, it's going to go from wet to moist to damp to gross and just get all funky smelling. I mean,
Yes.
and especially like sulfur is just, it's kind of a common smell too amongst like decay.
And
So-
we'll be going to a very specific place with a very specific reason why it might reek like this.
Oh.
A little hot spot that we know and love.
The old Fart River of West Virginia.
Fart River.
Fart River.
Fart River.
All go,
That's
get
it.
your turd canoes are going down Fart River.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue.
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
I just have nothing to say.
I just love the disappointment. It's great.
I mean, I'm not disappointed. Fart River was fun.
Come on, man. Turd canoe, Fart River.
All right, Turd
Dude,
Canoe was great.
get
on
into
Fart
it,
River.
dude.
I know.
Yeah.
The Vienna of turds. I know. Not the Vienna. Venice.
Venice.
There's
Yeah.
there's no canals in Vienna.
the sausage.
Could you imagine
That you
just
know
the
of.
shit running in the streets of
Yeah.
Vienna now? I've just
Oh,
ruined everything
God.
with little tiny
Oh,
sausages.
It's fucking great.
Shit and
Yeah,
sausages.
so tiny.
That's so
Because
gross.
Venice is already full of shit rivers.
It is. It's one big fucking sewer, man.
All
All right, man.
right.
All right.
Speaking from a folkloric perspective, it seems that these animals are known to be strict carnivores capable of taking down anything from a deer to a bear and, of course, everything in between, including humans. But no matter how you slice it, there is one thing that is 100% true. Despite their name, these bizarre beasts have nothing to do with Sasquatch, Bigfoot, or any of their ilk. Much like any lake monster being labeled the Nessie of fill-in-the-blank, or any semi-spectacular UFO encounter being described as the Roswell of wherever, the term Sasquatch, as we discussed earlier, is a generic appellation applied to any hairy thing of unknown origin. And here's where I, again, cite I should know because I contributed it.
Yeah, did it.
You did.
To this tradition when I thrust the ignoble appellation of Octosquatch on a poor, furry, multi-limbed octopoid who was petrified by a pair of Spanish truckers armed with a jackhammer. And for those wanting to revisit that, that would be way back in episode 5, Octosquatch.
Great episode.
It was a fun one.
It was awesome.
Naming conventions being what they are, the classic Sheepsquatch, regardless of how it's depicted in video games like Fallout 76 as a sort of top-heavy porcupine-spined zombie goat man, or in TV reenactments, is neither bipedal, though as mentioned, it can rear up on its hind legs, nor is it ape-like or traditionally humanoid in any way. If you're disappointed because that's your jam, then rest assured there are goatmen and other bipedal white things galore to satisfy that particular itch. But this creature is still worth getting to know better, as it's every bit as bizarre and violence-prone as their more celebrated cousins. So there you have it. In terms of the Sheepsquatch, we appear to be dealing with a horned, white, woolly, quadrupedal bovidae bear with digitally dexterous raccoon-like hands, razor-sharp teeth, and a hankering for flesh. And while its biological validity may be in question, its ability to inspire terror, especially among locals, most certainly is not. Though sightings of these bulky four-legged beasts have been reported in West Virginia's Mason, Putnam, and Kanawha counties, the bulk of the reports seem to hail from Boone County, where there appears to have been a wave of Sheepsquatch run-ins over the past few decades, particularly in the 1990s. In fact, one of the earliest encounters on the books occurred in Boone County in 1994, when two children claimed to have seen a huge whitish monster while playing in their forest-adjacent backyard. The kids testified that they were shocked when a creature that resembled a huge white bear suddenly appeared on the edge of the yard. While there can be little doubt that this brief yet harrowing brush with the unknown was terrifying to the youngsters, it seemed that it was the monster that got the worst of the surprise run-in, as the startled beast reared back on its hind legs to an impressive, according to the kids, 6 feet in height, before falling onto all fours and sprinting in the opposite direction, tearing off tree limbs in its ear-splitting, bramble-snapping wake.
Oh, they scared the hell out of it.
Scared the fuck out of it. Just two kids in a backyard dicking around, sort of like that poor kid with the Keds in the Enfield Horror.
Oh, yeah.
Except, unlike getting their sneakers attacked or anything, this thing just rears up in horror.
Right.
Kids! That's the sound it makes.
Yeah,
Really?
it's that
Kids.
kid.
Runs. Kids, see?
I mean, then again, Boone County, West Virginia is home to the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia, the White family.
Oh, I forgot about that, Doc.
Yeah, dude, with the whole that weird Appalachian dancing that they were doing.
Yeah.
It's a crazy doc.
It's been a long time.
It's a real crazy doc. But man,
It was.
I mean, it could have been one of their great grandkids.
So
there's a lot of
all
them
right,
out there.
people can be scary in Boone County.
Just saying, man, I mean, hey, good for them. They're out there living their fucking best lives with freedom.
Yeah, scaring cryptids.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
What was perhaps the closest, and in many ways most interesting, at least in terms of a scientific perspective, encounter with this thing also took place in 1994, this time some 80 miles to the north in Mason County, West Virginia. The incident involved a Navy veteran named Edward Rollins, who was, ironically, tracking down evidence of Point Pleasant's most infamous avian anomaly, the Mothman, when he claimed to have stumbled across another unbelievable organism skulking through the woods near a creek in the now notorious TNT area.
Oh, fucking window areas,
So we're
dude.
getting back.
Window areas.
Which is, of course, as we all know, known officially as the McClintock Wildlife Management Area. Rollins chronicled his encounter and how he happened to be there in an article for the website West Virginia Ghosts, or wvghosts.com. Quote, I grew up in Gallipolis across the Ohio River from Point Pleasant. In high school, I found an old scrapbook of my mother's with several dozen clippings of the Mothman. I was fascinated that something neat, quote unquote, had happened so close to the sleepy little town I loved. And I was hooked. I had to know more. It didn't take long for me to find the Mothman prophecies and read it cover to cover. I lost interest somewhat when I began to date and do the things high school kids do. However, when I returned from a 7-year tour in the United States Navy, I rediscovered my interest in the Mothman. I decided that I would use the skills the Navy had taught me to try and disprove the Mothman stories. My logic being that if I tried seriously and diligently to disprove the stories and failed, then I would have strengthened their credibility. My new hobby took me into the woods and hollers around the TNT area and to the homes of what witnesses who were alive and willing to talk about what they'd seen. While I found a great many points of interest in my investigation, I was not prepared for what I encountered along a creek bank north of Bethel Church Road. He continues, I was walking the creek bank trying to run down some tips provided to me by an acquaintance. As I walked the creek, I heard something large break through the brush ahead of me, and I froze. Logic told me that it was at worst a large dog or even a stray cow, as there is very little in the way of predators in Mason County. Still, I've been a hunter since my teenage years, and I knew well that the West Virginia DNR, that's the West Virginia Division of Natural Resources, had been actively repopulating absent native species. It was wholly possible that I was about to become face to face with something which might consider me lunch. Legitimate concern.
Yeah, no, totally.
What I saw emerge from the brush was a large brownish-white creature. Its fur looked dirty and matted, as if the animal did very little in the line of self-grooming. I can't be sure if I was looking at a dirty white animal or a brownish animal with a white undercoat. It was late in the fall, so it makes sense that it might be putting on a winter coat. The creature moved on all fours as it breached the brush line and knelt to drink from the creek. Its front limbs, the only limbs I saw clearly, ended in what were markedly paw-like hands. Its head was long and pointed, like a canine's, and it had largish, horns. Not antlers, but single point horns, and again, not curling ram horns.
Right, just straight up back goat horns.
Right.
Cool.
I shrunk back into the brush and watched, afraid to stay and afraid to run. It drank for a few minutes, then crossed the creek and continued toward Sand Hill Road. When I was sure it was gone, I turned and ran as fast as I could back toward the pond where I had parked. End quote. One of the many things that struck Rollins as odd regarding this massive mammal is the fact that it was surrounded by a sulfurous stench that was almost overwhelming. Rollins, being disinclined to attribute it to some kind of demonic or paranormal manifestation, speculated that this was due to the fact that for decades, industrial pollution had been dumped in the TNT area and had left its indelible mark on anything unfortunate enough to live in the area.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Because it was a munitions factory, so that would make sense that sulfur would be involved.
Absolutely,
yeah.
100%.
Landfill leachate smells really bad of sulfur.
Really?
Yeah, really bad. We deal with a ton of it at work, and it is god-awful.
I believe it.
God-awful.
Yeah.
Yuck. Quote, continuing with Rollins' quote, "The one thing that sticks out in my mind about this encounter most clearly is the way it smelled. It smelled like sulfur, Now, don't think I'm screaming fire and brimstone here. I'm not. One of the biggest problems with the TNT area is the pollution from the manufacturing activities that went on there, like Mark was just saying. The worst of this is the red water runoff generated by the production of gunpowder. The area was a Navy ammunition plant at one time and made gunpowder. Red water, the cause to this date of the brownish red foam seen in many of the runoff ponds, has a sulfur content that should concern anyone exposed to it. It makes sense that anything living in the area should absorb some measure of that scent if they are drinking from these water sources." End quote.
Even just swimming in it, you're going to stink of it.
And you got to drink.
I mean,
hydration nation. We are a planet of things that require water.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean, unless you're, I don't know, my parents that just refuse to believe in water.
Yeah, but somehow they must get their ample quotient because they're alive.
I mean, they probably absorb it.
I mean, is it in like Diet Coke and beer?
Probably. No beer for either of them. But
really? All right, good for them.
Whatever they drink.
All right, sure. They have to drink something liquidy.
They do.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm not saying
water.
it's like fully rehydrating their cells and like making their body super happy, but it's got to be at least enough to keep them alive.
Yeah, it's extracting something somewhere.
They're getting it from somewhere, but
osmosis.
Not enough. Yeah, and I just yell.
Humid days.
I just yell at my parents to drink water because that's what happens when you're 43 years old.
Yeah,
you become your parents' parents.
Don't I know?
Please drink water. Yeah, Jesus Christ, drink water.
Yeah, please.
So for everybody out there, young, old,
hydration,
tall and small, drink water.
Key.
Yeah.
No one's arguing that.
10 glasses or more a day.
I love my bourbon. You know what else I love?
Your water.
My water that I just finished.
Here you go. I got this right here. I'm showing the camera.
Yeah, we all got water.
Yeah, I drink multiple of these a day.
Yeah, you got it.
I pee 40 times.
45 times a day.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, but it's okay.
That's right.
So anything drinking from the red water is going to reek of sulfur, whether or not they have demonic parentage.
Yeah, man, it's just a stinky, farty pit. It's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our next episode was chronicled in Kurt McCoy's 2008 cryptid compendium, White Things, West Virginia's Weird White Monsters, which I remember reading back when I was in the hospital about a year ago. And
Yeah.
I was really good.
I remember you.
book,
I remember you getting that book, as a matter of fact.
and I was really
Did someone
excited
send
about
it, or did you buy it?
I think I bought that one.
Okay, cool.
But maybe someone sent it. If you sent it and I'm not giving you credit,
No.
let me know. But I'm pretty sure I bought it.
I'm pretty sure that you bought it too.
Okay. Under the heading of The Devil in the Ditch, which is a great subheading.
Okay, cool.
Occurred in 1995 and takes us to Boone County. So I think I read that with lots of pauses. Our next episode occurred in 1995 and takes us back to Boone County
There
just
we
to
go,
get back into
man.
the flow.
That-
According to the report, sometime in 1995, a woman named Amy Sharp was sitting shotgun while her unnamed boyfriend drove through remote Randolph County through an area known as the Colton Pumpkin Town Road. I love that there's a place called
I love it,
Pumpkin
too.
Town.
Yeah, man.
In order to stop at the store for his mother. At approximately 8 p.m., the young couple had the scare of a lifetime when they, like so many other unsuspecting witnesses to the paranormal, spied a beefy beast hunkered in a roadside ditch next to a disabled vehicle. Seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
When we did those Pennsylvania critters, like it's always a roadside ditch. That's where these fuckers always start, whether it's a Bigfoot, a Sheepsquatch, a fucking weird big-elbowed shadow person. That's coming up. Don't worry. Lots of weird shit starts in ditches.
And
the ditch monster that chased those poor girls.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That looked like a weird reptilian scarecrow and was
Yeah.
like swimming in that like foot and a half of
Oh, like
mud
a drainage.
water.
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
drainage
drainage.
ditch.
Yeah.
right. That's not the one that dove in.
It dove
It
in.
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 feet tall. And it was like jawsing its way towards these kids.
Mhm.
And they barely got away.
Don't go playing in roadside ditches, kids, and drink your waters.
It's got to be the most prevalent. Yeah, stay hydrated, of course. But cryptid locale, honestly, that people are sleeping on. Like, no one's thinking roadside ditch. Like, roadside ditch
Yeah.
is where it's at. If you want to find a
Dude.
monster, roadside ditch.
Bro, Nessie in the roadside ditch. What's
Baby
going on?
Nessies, they're all the time.
Full Nessie.
That's how they swim upstream.
Full Nessie.
Can't get a full Nessie in a roadside ditch. Come on, that's stupid.
All the different holes in the earth all go to the ditches. Yeah.
Okay.
The different holes in the hollow earth. If Godzilla taught us nothing. Yeah.
I don't
exactly.
know what it taught us.
Yeah. Hollow earth.
I'm trying to make an important cryptozoological
Filled with giant monkey men.
point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. May I?
There's a hollow earth in the hollow earth. It's the next
I
one.
know it's sub-hollow.
Yeah. No, it really is.
There is a
there.
double hollow
No, I
earth
know.
theory. You know that, right?
I know, 100%.
Like the earth within the earth?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
below the Daros and the
Yeah,
fucking,
there's
I don't
one
know,
down
the Bills.
there. Yeah. There's one down there, dude.
Yeah, like there's many suns and many earths.
Yeah, exactly.
Layers.
Just keep going deep, Dave. Baby, it's an onion that's flat.
Wow.
And a moon that ain't real.
Flat onion.
Flat onion.
And the flat onion and the liar's moon. If this was a Patreon, we'd have a name.
Man. Hang on to that for Patreon.
Yeah, we might just have to do it anyway. All right. So they're seeing a fucking beefy beast hunkered in a roadside ditch next to a disabled vehicle. The astonished driver slowed to a halt in order to get a better look at this unusual apparition, which Amy and her partner first assumed was either a stranded motorist or a wounded deer. So when they first slowed down, they're thinking it's somebody stuck in the ditch,
Yeah.
maybe trying to like free the car, or that like they hit a deer, send it, sprawling into the ditch,
Right.
and they're like maybe trying
Yeah,
to do
I mean,
the merciful thing of, I don't know, stoning it to death or whatever the fuck you do to a dying
You
deer
can
at the side of a
use
road.
a tire iron.
Or
but
something. Yeah,
tire
just something to
iron
make it
is-
not be in
can
agony.
be quick. But the thing is, you see the disabled vehicle. So
Yeah.
you're automatically thinking like, oh, someone needs some assistance.
Right.
Let me be their AAA.
But they quickly realized that this was quite unlike anything they had ever seen before. Amy described it as a hulking, ashen animal about the size of a bear. Interestingly, the only detail of the couple's description that seems to differ from the bulk of the reports is the almost inscrutable fact that they believed it had no less than 4 eyes, as aforementioned.
Yes, I love it.
While skeptically inclined cryptozoologists, of which the vast majority are, may suggest that it's possible that these witnesses mistook the dark horns on its head for an extra pair of eyes, the fact is that there is a growing body of evidence to suggest that, on rare occasions, observers are coming into contact with an array of 4-eyed fiends, from the insidious beast of Beckley to the so-called Bologna horrors, which is a very recent pull,
Yep.
a pack of which petrified a pair of Italian brothers on July 28th, 1999. And this would be respectively episodes 219, The Beast of Beckley, and episode 338, the very recent Revenge of the Inexplicables, if you are interested. in learning more about these four-eyed fuck-alls. But back to Randolph County, 1995. As if this sighting weren't already disturbing enough, the bestial brute, in what is one of the first known accounts of Sheepsquatch violence, lunged out of the ditch and began attacking the vehicle. The driver wasted no time in speeding away from the enraged monster, and even though Amy pleaded with her boyfriend to turn around so that they could get another look at the thing, he was having none of it. When the couple arrived back at the boys' home, they noted deep scratches in the paint where the beast had assaulted their car. It's not known if this couple either looked for or took the time to preserve any potential genetic examples or samples. I'll just read examples because that's what I do, of the animal. And unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any photographic evidence in support of this account, both of which would have been invaluable. This is also known as the cryptozoologist lament.
Yeah.
Do you have a camera? Do you have the means? Do you do it? Of course you fucking don't. Of course you don't.
So I wonder what the other disabled vehicle was they're doing. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, yeah, hold on to
or
that.
you know what, man? That was the Sheepsquatch's car.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's just looking for help?
Yeah, or hear me out. Hear me out. Where Sheepsquatch?
Yeah, I knew you were going
The
there.
driver turned into the Sheepsquatch, dude.
I'm sorry.
There's a listener out there, and she's going to hit me up on Instagram, and she's going to love that I said that. What up, Betty?
I thought you were literally saying, where is Sheepsquatch? And I'm like, it's in
like
the ditch, dude.
No,
It's in the
where?
ditch. No, I get
It's
it.
a
No, I
yeah,
get it.
dude.
I was slow. I was slow to the uptake.
Like a fucking werewolf.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
I'm the wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're the Sheepsquatch.
All right, it could be a were squatch, sheep, squatch, fuck. Yeah, it could be.
I just broke Rob.
I'm just trying to give it to you, man. I don't know.
Oh, cryptozoologist lament,
Yes.
Robert. Continuing.
For her part, Amy told McCoy that, quote, to this day, I still don't know what it was, but I'd like to. My older sister lives right up the road from where we saw the white beast, but she has never seen anything like that before. Now, every time I ride down back roads, I always watch the woods to see if I can see the thing again. And I always keep my doors locked, too. End quote. Be that as it may, one can't help but wonder, as Mark pointed out, about the fate of the missing driver of the derelict car, assuming he's not a fucking Sheepsquatch.
He could be Sheepsquatch turds.
He could be.
Could have been eaten.
Was he hiding in the back seat, waiting for the thing to leave and praying for the couple to notice him and offer a ride to safety? Or had he already been dragged into the forest and torn to pieces long before they drove by? Unfortunately, the unknown driver's fate seems destined to remain a mystery.
She'd see me be able to kind of track that down, like a car found the side of the road.
I don't think so. A car, 1995, a car parked on a rural road that was probably picked up the next day by the dude who owned it, or was towed at some point.
Well, yeah, then the guy would be like, yeah, no. Like,
we do know the name of the road. We know the
Right.
season, spring or whatever it was, I think. Maybe we don't even know the season. We might not know shit,
Are we going to
actually.
contact the local police department? Be like, did you find a car on this road?
Okay. I mean, in 1995.
Was the driver
You do realize that's a long time
a
ago now.
Sheepsquatch?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
95 was a good year. It was a great year. I was 15. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's fucking dope.
No, yeah.
That's fucking edgy. That's
Yeah.
fucking real
I
edgy.
mean, as opposed to
I know,
now,
dude.
Yeah.
you're still edgy as fuck, dude.
Super edgy, bro.
It was a fun year. I'm not
It
going to
was.
deny
It
it.
was very good.
I don't know if it was a good year to track down missing cars in Randolph County, but hey, it's worth a shot.
We had to
Yeah.
put, dude, the cryptozoologist's lament. You got to put the legwork in.
If
dog.
someone was found dead near the scene and the car was abandoned, and we can prove that, and especially if it seemed to be animal predation as
Yeah.
opposed, or even like a particularly violent serial killer, these things would lend, if not endless credibility, at least an ounce of veracity towards the idea that there was an anomalous animal butchering people in that neighborhood.
dude.
So it's worth the
Yeah.
effort for anyone who wants to put it out there.
Yeah, if you're down there, and you want to do this, let us know. Hit us up.
Or call. Phones work too.
Yeah, you know,
You don't have to live in West
We
Virginia.
have listeners in West Virginia.
All right, if you
A
want to do
ton
it,
of them in
if
West
you're
Virginia.
on the ground,
Yeah,
Go for it.
They're fucking boots in the ground, man. Do it.
right on. Yeah. But as frightening, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm just recollecting myself now. But as frightening as the road tripping couple's account may be, the next altercation, which returns us to Boone County, is even more terrifying. The event began in 1999 after a pair of campers set up shop in the forest not far from one of the pair's rural Boone County home. The two had taken to the nearby woods, no doubt hoping to get the benefits of relaxing in nature without being too far from the warm comforts of home. Knowing that a sanctuary was only a relatively short jaunt away, it seems likely that the friends had no fear of what lurked in the forest around them. But if that were the case, then they had made a terrible miscalculation. As the sun set and darkness began to creep through the canopy, the outdoorsmen lit a roaring campfire and sat around the cackling, nice, Rob, cackling like a witch.
I let the cackling pyre.
Cackling fires.
Welcome to the cackling pyre.
Oh my God.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, dude. Chris can write that.
That's a Mortis song.
It is.
It's totally a Mortis song. 100%. Yeah.
It's been 15 long years since I smelled that cackling
Cackling
pyre.
pyre. All right. Crackling pyre. Enjoying good conversation, a warm evening breeze, and likely a brew or 12.
Yeah.
But just as the soothing peace and quiet began permeating their not-so-remote campsite, things took a sudden turn toward the terrifying. As night drew on, the men began to hear what they described as animalistic snorting and scuffling sounds emanating from the shadow-shrouded trees surrounding the campsite. The men were anxious, but remained confident that whatever was lurking in the foliage wouldn't dare to show itself near a blazing campfire. They were wrong. Without warning, a huge, white, four-legged monstrosity thundered into their campsite, charging at the men. The campers, with no concern whatsoever for their gear, leapt to their feet and began sprinting through the dark, bramble-ridden forest, praying that they would make it to the safety of the house before the beast caught up with them. As the tiny limbs whipped against the duo, they heard the unmistakable snorting of the massive monster that was hot on their heels. Lady Luck was clearly smiling down on the duo because as soon as the terrified men broke through the tree line, the creature, for no apparent reason, suddenly halted its pursuit and emitted what the campers described as a quote-unquote terrible scream before turning around and disappearing back into its shadowy domain, which is a very common thing. Like the kids seeing it on the edge of the woods. Like this thing does not breach the woods. It seems.
It can't, dude. It's like holy ground.
Yeah, it's what I was thinking, man. It's got like a magical barrier.
Is the magical
the world of man?
Is the magical barrier the world of man?
The world of man.
Is it the property line and it respects like taxpayers?
Probably not.
Or is it just it fears a well manicured lawn? Like
No.
they probably own the forest
the open plains.
too, but
Yeah.
that gets to the plains and it knows what happened to the buffalo, the lament of which we mentioned earlier.
Wow.
And it's like, fuck you, I can't go onto a grass plain. I
Too
know what happens to my kind there.
Too soon.
I think it's just part of the curse.
I think it's definitely part of the curse. Like it can't go on that ground. Like it just can't.
But why
Like
grass?
how a vampire can't go on the church ground or
Sure,
whatever.
but why?
Yeah. Hey,
I mean, it's just part of the curse.
It's part of the curse.
Well,
yeah.
you can't just say that.
Well,
You come up with
can, 'cause
theories.
that's-
You 100% can.
That's how curses go. It's just you can't go beyond the
The
boundary
forest
of the
boundary.
rock.
And if this is a
Like, that's just
rare
how that is.
sheepsquatch, where he transforms into the sheepsquatch or she into the sheepsquatch at night and then terrorizes the locals of Boone County, maybe there's just an affected area that they can't get out of. Like that's where they're fucking.
All right, fair.
It's a weird part of the transformation.
That's very true.
Yeah, they only have like a 20-mile radius.
Yeah.
They have a 1.5 mile radius, and they can't leave the affected
That would
area.
suck.
I mean,
so
I think
bad.
it depends on the region. There's
That's
probably
true.
regional curses.
Yeah, or
with different
depending on
laws.
depending on the quartz in the ground.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because there's a quartz-heavy area again. A lot of quartz.
Are they supported by the quartz or deflected by the
I
quartz?
think they're probably supported by it. So once you get off the quartz area, that's where like you
They
lose
can't
the
project
power.
as much?
That's when
Yeah.
you start sucking the power
No,
down.
it just makes sense.
Yeah, so you gotta stay on the
So you
I mean, if
think
we're going to
there's
use no logic
quartz-based?
whatsoever,
quartz-based,
Okay.
yeah, if we're going to shit on science,
quartz-based logic. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know about that, but
telling you, dude. When there's no quartz underground, they can't get they lose their power, man.
Oh, okay.
I stand by. I stand by you.
Okay, fine,
I do.
Fine.
While it is virtually impossible to ascertain whether or not these creatures are carnivorous or even omnivorous, this account and the previous one would seem to at least indicate that they are intensely territorial, which may be a different explanation. Like once you've left the foresty domain for the manicured lawns of suburbia, it's like, all right, now you're out of my place.
They might have babies too. Protect the young.
Got to protect the young.
Yeah.
Babies need to be protected.
Oh, little baby sheepsquatch. How adorable.
Oh, you know they're going to be cute as fuck.
Oh.
If baby goats are arguably amongst the 3 cutest things ever,
yeah, 100%.
then what the fuck, a baby sheepsquatch is going to be.
Sheepsquatch.
Even because a bear cub's adorable.
Yeah.
And a baby goat's adorable.
Yeah.
Sure.
Psst, come on.
Dude, a little baby sheepsquatch.
Dude. Oh my God, we need a plushie.
Making little noises.
No, you can't. No, once it makes noises, it's horrible. Then
No,
it's
it
like
has a little-
then
a
it's
little
like the
squeak.
fucking weird ET baby from Eraserhead. Then it's a fucking nightmare.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so don't.
No one needs. Yeah, see, you just disgusted Chris. No one needs to revisit that.
Well, sometimes you have to revisit
No,
that.
no one needs to revisit it.
Sometimes you have to.
Oh, it's terrible.
I agree.
Terrible.
The lady in the radiator.
Yeah.
With big ass cheeks,
Oh,
stomping on sperms.
Yeah.
Weird movie.
Super weird. Movie.
Classic.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
I think you recommended it to me. Yeah, you did actually.
When you were young,
Yeah.
I was trying to steer you in the
And
right way.
I went and got the VHS and was like, "Fuck Rob."
Fuck Rob.
It's terrible.
You cried.
It's fucking-
Yeah.
Like, why did you do this to me?
It's like Meet the Feebles. I'm like, you guys are assholes for making me watch this.
That's at least charming.
Oh God.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fucking-
not
No, it's
even-
scummy, but it's charming.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
another one too that was really fucking awful. That,
Forbidden fucking zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that you guys recommended to me, and I'm like, I want to be cool and hang out with the cool guys. I'm like, they ruined me. This shit sucks. I can't sleep. I hate cinema.
Hey, look what happened though.
Yeah, and now here I am.
Yeah, here you are.
Here you go.
Keeping our water safe.
Semi-popular podcast.
There it is.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Going back to the boys, whose plight we've completely ignored. After a sleepless night, during which the panic-stricken men surely kept a watchful eye for the creature's return, the former nature lovers screwed up their courage and decided to go out and reclaim their supplies and camping gear, which they had so hastily and sagely abandoned the night before. On their way back to the campsite, the men noted the damage that the monster had done, later stating that the earth had been torn asunder, quote, like someone had tilled it up for gardening.
Oh wow, so the thing is just digging in the ground.
Rooting, I guess, would be the right word.
And I believe this is the part in the reenactment from the monsters.
It's not.
Oh, this is not.
Surprisingly, we're not even there yet.
Oh, okay. All
Oh,
right.
I know this seems very similar,
Okay.
and it is,
Okay.
but it is not,
Okay.
because that's from Kentucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yep.
Sweet.
No, I thought so too. When I was
thought
revisiting
this was-
this after so long, I'm like, oh snap, yeah, no, this is just me covering that ground, and I'm like, oh no, it's just very similar to ground that was covered.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I mean,
I sense a lack of machetes.
honestly, yeah, no, there's going to be a lack of machetes in the later account too.
Okay.
Because what the cinematographer and the editor decide to focus on is not necessarily what the story is,
Okay.
and
fair.
we're telling
Yeah.
the story here.
Fair.
But just rest assured, it's machetes fucking for days. It's machetes everywhere.
Nice.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. Another interesting run-in with this enigmatic entity occurred during June of 2011. This event was posted online on June 7th and claimed to be an actual account of a Sheepsquatch encounter that allegedly occurred in Ferrystone State Park, which I didn't even know there was a place called Ferrystone State
No,
Park,
it's kind of cool.
which is located in Patrick County, Virginia. The park is named after the unique fairy stones, dark nesosilicate minerals with white streaks called starlight, which are found throughout the region. The locale is renowned for numerous perplexing events, but few can be more mystifying than the incident that was reported by a woman who identified herself only as Tina, that's with 2 E's, Tina,
I like that.
in her own words, quote, I hope you can give me an idea of what I saw a few weeks ago while hiking with friends in Ferrystone State Park in Virginia. We had been on one of the trails for about an hour when we stopped for a brief rest and drink. Hydration. So important.
Yes.
This was my first visit to the park, and I was pleased that the area we were in was secluded. After a few minutes of rest, we continued to walk along the trail when my friend suddenly stopped and pointed towards the right of a large group of rocks. Something was moving around, but it was about 50 yards away, so we didn't get a very good look. We could see that it was light in color and was quite bulky. We stood frozen, wanting to know what this creature was, though I was, getting more frightened by the second. As we started to walk, the creature moved onto the rock where we got a good look at it. It was like a medium-sized bear, but the fur was very light in color, almost a yellowish gray. The head was very strange also. There was a snout like that of a bear, but the dark round eyes were set lower on the head. So again, like that more bison type analogy I gave earlier. It was looking in our direction, and we had no intention on sticking around to see what it was going to do. We got back to the car and immediately left for home. Though there are scads of other accounts that can fit neatly into the Sheepsquatch camp, let's end it with the aforementioned account that was aired in the initial episode of Monsters and Mysteries in America, which is what Mark was just talking about. One that very likely helped create the indelible, though I contend erroneous, impression that this shaggy, shrieking conundrum of natural selection is a bipedal quasi-humanoid with spiraling ram-like horns. That's the lie. According to the televised report, sometime in July of 2004, I can't say 2004 apparently, a pair of teenage outdoorsmen named Dakota Cheeks and Ricky Joyce.
Yeah.
Two Patreon names that Chris completely made up. Completely made up. Those
Dakota Cheeks.
Dakota
sure.
Cheeks.
Dude,
Come on.
yeah,
I mean, Ricky Joyce maybe not so much, but Ricky anything, yes.
Yeah, but man,
yeah.
You got two boys, just Dakota and Ricky. What are you guys doing? We're just out here looking for Sheepsquatch with our machetes. Gonna cut the fucking heads off these things.
They were the pair that were machete
They were
obsessed.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yes. We're on a hunting trip in the dense Kentucky forest when they discovered the mutilated carcass of one of Ricky's hunting dogs. So it sucks, but there it is.
Yeah, it's awful.
Likely chalking up the carnage to an ill-advised run-in with a bear or a wild boar, the pair decided to call it a day and they retreated to their camper. But the Sheepsquatch wasn't through with them yet. Not long after they'd fallen asleep, Ricky and Dakota were startled awake by a sudden shudder and the calamitous sounds of something wild attacking their camper. They managed to secure their temporary sanctuary until finally the beast ceased its onslaught in the light of day, prompting Dakota to state, quote, "Anything that aggressive does not deserve to be here. If it can't coexist, it needs to go."
Fucking dude, Dakota.
Is Dakota you? Are
Dakota
you really?
Cheeks, dude, Dakota Cheeks, 2024. Fucking, I'm his campaign manager. There you go. Dude.
Yeah, clearly.
You're fucking making this.
Oh, you can't play? You can't play by the rules?
Yeah. There you go.
I guess there's no room on the playground
first
for
of all,
you.
it murdered his dog, so automatically
Yeah.
That's
the Sheepsquatch,
conjecture.
the Sheepsquatch and its
That's
entire
true.
lineage needs
don't know
to
that.
die.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, in all
needs to
fairness,
die.
what if it was a wild boar or a bear?
That's true.
You can't swear it was the Sheepsquatch
Everything
that did the damage.
in the area needs to suffer
Wow.
for one trespass against man and his dog.
So what do you do to the oceans when someone drowns?
How dare you even talk about what I do to the ocean?
You can't fight the ocean.
Oh, you don't think I can?
Oh, I've
will.
seen you punch the ocean
You
with
can go
my own
into,
eyes.
You can go into knee deep and just punch the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Just pretend like you're in a fucking pit.
I just start
You're not
throwing-
gonna win.
Just start throwing plastic straws into it and
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
You're like,
Fuck
fuck
you."
you. Start throwing it in there. I apologize to the turtles later,
Wow.
but I don't mean it. Wow. Yeah.
Everyone loves a sea turtle.
Listen, I love everything, but if you hurt something close to me, like my dog,
You're gonna destroy the ocean.
I gotta destroy
the ocean. Yeah, it makes sense.
I
Yeah.
gotta destroy the ocean.
No, I saw
Okay.
the through. The
Yeah.
through was. Thank God Chris helped
Yeah.
you bridge it because you wanted to go there.
That's right. Yeah,
All
and,
right.
and the nearest ocean to us is 4 hours to fucking New York City. So,
Yeah.
boys, you're going to the Bronx.
Punch an ocean.
Punching. Is there an ocean right there? Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hudson. Yeah, you can
Rockaway Beach, baby.
Yeah, we can get there.
Come on.
But you just even directly
your
east,
Ramon
and
songs.
we'll still get there.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's
we don't
go
have
east.
to go south
Robert.
and east. Just
Coney
go directly
Island.
east.
Come
Let's
on,
go
buddy.
east. What's
Let's go to Coney Island.
furthest-
Threaten the ocean.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you fucking get out of the ocean?
Hey, ocean, what the fuck?
Yeah, get up here.
You're so big.
Get up here. I'm going to destroy you and your entire family.
Being avid hunters, I'm getting back to fucking
All right, cool.
Dakota Cheeks. And, Ricky Bobby, what was his name?
Ricky
Stanicki.
Ricky Joyce.
Ricky Joyce. Thank you.
Fucking Ricky Bobby, Ricky
Jesus,
Stanicki.
I would have gone through all of them.
Do my boy Ricky Buckets.
Oh, Ricky Buckets.
Ricky Buckets, my boy from fucking Auburn Armature, dude. What up, Ricky?
Being avid hunters, the teenage twosome were not content to leave well enough alone and slink away from the woods with their proverbial tails between their legs. Instead, they decided to get literally loaded for bear and made the, frankly, dubious decision to chase this thing into its home turf in the shadowy womb of the Breckenridge County woods. The boys opted to take a shortcut through an overgrown cemetery, always a great initial step. Always.
You could use a cemetery as a good base. If there's like a fence around it.
Well, I mean, I suppose you could. You got walls.
Yeah, you could use it as like a fortification. You can use it as a fortification. Yeah.
And I do mention here, it's a place often associated with white devil sightings. So yeah, though not specifically Sheepsquatch, but other creatures like, say, the aforementioned Morgan Ridge monster, which we will be doing. I know I say that all the time, but it's really a fascinating creature. A lot of these things love hanging out in cemeteries.
What's the one that's in New York that we just had a listener story?
Oh, the Copenhagen Devil.
The Copenhagen Devil,
Yeah.
And that's
another horned, white, weird thing that doesn't mind hanging around fucking dead parks. So,
and the listener that sent that in, like his significant other at the time, I believe, like saw it like in a cemetery.
Yeah. So interesting.
Weird. Okay.
Weird white things in cemeteries.
They eat the dead.
They eat the dead. Ghouls.
They eat the dead.
Oh, graveyard buffet.
There you go. So you can lure it into the cemetery and you can drop a tombstone on its head.
Literally?
Yeah.
Figuratively.
Exactly.
Or a rock.
You going to be picking up that tombstone? Because that shit ain't light.
You just got to get some straps. And some pulleys and some levers.
A catapult.
That's a trap.
Yeah, dude. Like a blunderbuss situation.
Trebuchet.
Oh, I want a trebuchet so bad. No one will let me have one.
Who?
So you mean
who
Nick?
won't let you have one?
My wife.
Nick won't let you have one.
A trebuchet.
You build a small one.
Because the kids have to have a trampoline that nobody uses. But the kids have to have a trampoline, but Mark can have a trebuchet because then I'm the problem in the neighborhood.
It's shameful.
I think my neighbors would dig it.
In all fairness, you probably can't use it once without hitting something that your neighbors own.
If I point it towards the high school, I could easily clear those two streets.
Oh,
with,
I'm sure.
With a trebuchet.
I mean, depending on the size, but yes.
Worst case, I'm going to hit something in the tennis courts.
Sure.
It's fine.
But I mean, then
you're just going to attack the high school randomly?
I mean,
that is state property.
I'm thinking about it. A lot of kids play tennis over there. This could be bad in the papers, boys. We're going to need some.
Okay, you stop talking about attacking.
We're going to need the fucking.
Schools,
we're going to need a PR campaign.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude.
Just say it's not the school in general. It's just it's my okay.
You mean the grass?
Yeah, my trebuchet.
Okay.
I was like saying the
Jesus
word.
Christ.
Trebuchet.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So they're taking a shortcut through the cemetery before exiting into a vast open field. It was then that Ricky claimed, "I seen something standing in the field, and at first I thought it was a tree. It was tall, but it was also kind of hunched over a little bit. It was big. It was white." Dakota added, "And its arms were long, but they were kind of out like this." And at this point, he emulates a classic sort of T-Rex.
I'm showing the camera.
Yeah, you
T-Rex arms.
Posture.
Look at this, Chris.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure you see it.
I see it.
Yeah, this is my.
And Mr. Cheeks continues, "And it had these long talons. It was too big to be a person. When it was on two legs, it stood at least 9 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was massive. When it noticed us, it let out this just ungodly, gut-curling growl." I think he meant curdling, but what the hell? I'm going to give Dakota Cheeks all the benefits.
It's a fucking Olympic sport, dog.
It should be noted here that Dakota qualified by saying when it was on two legs, indicating that it was likely not the creature's normal four-legged stance. That is an assumption on my part, but
no, I got that immediately.
Me too. Ricky continued, "It came straight at us and we were shooting. I don't know if we hit anything, but I remember coming back to the house as fast as we could," end quote. Adding, the definitive touch is Dakota's coda claiming, "We saw Sheepsquatch. That's what we saw. As a kid, you know you're not really sure what's in the dark. Once you see what's beyond the light, is when you realize that all of your innocence is gone.
Oh God!
All right, that's a little fucking heavy. Jesus Christ,
dude, is he Batman?
Settle down.
Is he Batman?
It's a little
Rick.
It's Christian Bale. Is his knees hurt?
Dude, Jesus, is he Eric Draven? For Christ's sake, the Crow.
Yes, no, I know.
It can't rain all the time. Well, maybe it can.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy. Wow. Then again, if you did see this thing, that would definitely affect you and it's literally in your backyard.
I mean, innocence.
So
is
your
gone,
innocence would be gone.
is heavy, but we've often stated this. I've often stated this. Melodramatics aside, if you see something that is indicative of what the reality that you'd accepted was normal,
it's gonna fuck you up.
it is going to be a foundational reassessment of where you stand. Now, I don't know if I'd call it a fundamental loss of innocence, aka the innocence is gone.
Yeah,
but I would say that that it is definitely going to make you be like, well, fuck.
No, there's a trauma there for sure, but I don't think it's like seeing like some sort of glowing apparition-y, something that's completely. This still seems to be like a living beast,
an animal,
right? So
like an unknown animal. You're right, which seems less disturbing than you're right, a preternatural, like an elder god or some crazy magical shit.
Right, you're like a big beast, and it was attacking me isn't as crazy as some shit from the sky. Fucking
because there's literally thousands of pages of precedents for unfathomable beasts attacking people in forest.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, throughout the history of humanity. So Chris makes a valid point there.
Is that Don Henley? Right? This is the end of innocence.
Oh, yeah.
It was on Henley,
I had no idea where you're going. Did Don Henley see the Sheepsquatch first?
Yeah. I mean, is that what, like Boys of Summer? I'm like, yeah.
Sasquatch,
I don't know what it has to do
on
with
a
this.
Cadillac.
When I fucking dropped you off last week.
Sasquatch on the road. A Sasquatch on the beach. Sasquatch everywhere.
Sasquatch on reach.
When it made you crazy? Or whatever the fuck you said. When I dropped you off last Monday, and I was in the car, and I had my 80s road.
Was it Boys of Summer?
It was Boys of Summer came on, dude. And I was fucking jamming it on the fucking way home. What a fun!
It's a good song.
The song's a jam, dude.
Yeah.
Sasquatch on the road, Nessie on the beach. Mothman in the air.
Remember how I made you crazy? There you go.
Something out of reach.
Always out of reach.
Always out of reach.
Totally.
Ricky. Good old Ricky Joyce.
Yo, Ricky Joyce
had a perhaps less dramatic, though no less profound takeaway. Quote, it made me believe in the unbelievable. I didn't believe in myths. I didn't believe in wives' tales. None of that until I seen that. And after that, it changed my life forever. I mean, there's things out there that we don't know what they are, which seems like a more altogether reasonable take.
His innocence isn't totally lost.
No, he didn't. Yeah, his faith in humanity, the universe isn't shattered.
I know.
Faith in humanity.
Yeah, his psyche's been twisted.
I can't go to the forest again. I can't look at grass the same.
Just a man that talks to trees now because no one can understand him.
No, but he is the kind of guy that's like, I've seen a monster, and monsters are now real, and so now I'm going to put that into the catalog of shit I need to deal with.
You just make it a part of your everyday.
Which is fair.
Make it a part of your everyday. You carry 2 guns. One for man, one for monster.
7 extra machetes.
7, This is the part where they take the machetes when they go back. That's when they grab the machetes and they're like, "We're going back."
No, they're like in a bedroom, which is like a total. If I'm recalling like the dramatic reenactment, right? It's like a total teenage fantasy boy bedroom, I guess.
Didn't the
and
kids...
they're like pulling machetes out of machete holsters, whatever, scabbards.
Did they have actors do this, or was it the actual?
Oh, it was actors.
Okay, for some reason I thought no, I think it was the kids. I think
Dakota might have been playing with a machete too.
Yeah, but I think it was the kids that actually experienced they were actually in the episode and they were part
They reenacted their own story?
They did.
I can't swear. I don't know.
Maybe I did. I could have
been a
swore they were like
long
talking to them when they were like talking about it.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Unless maybe they cut to them. I can't remember now. Damn it. I got to think in my head. Don Henley.
I took these notes forever ago when it was like still on TV. So I don't know. I should have revisited it.
It's worth checking out though. It's fun. Rob's illustration gets featured in the very end.
And they zone in and out.
I remember when we went through and did this too. The sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot more that was supposed to happen.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, there's another Discord discussion.
And that show ended up being of a caliber that I didn't deeply regret our continued partnership did not maintain. Let's put it that way.
But the reenactments were quality.
The reenactments
were real quality.
A huge cut above
They were
the current standard.
For sure.
Their enslavement to the truth. I'm not dissing anybody who works on that show, by the way. I understand making a TV show is tough, and there's lots of shit that goes on, and you just have to fulfill the promise of an hour-long promo.
Yeah.
You have to appeal to your producers. You have to appeal to your parent network. I get all of that, but I also get as I was mentioning in here at some point. Maybe I'll get to it in a second. But no, here, let me get to it.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
Ricky, I already said that thing here. Truer words have rarely been uttered. And though, through the many filters of making a TV show, not the least of which being that stories better be tailor-fit to the costume you use in recreations, hence why they modified their quadrupedal story to a bipedal suit because that's what was featured in the fucking reenactment.
Yeah.
You're so mad about it.
I'm not so mad. I just think I'm not even a little bit angry, but I do think it's important to let the crypto aficionado audience understand that there is a difference between what is a goat man and a sheepsquatch.
We're here for you.
Because I wasn't there for Choop. I should have been. I was there writing my little articles in my little corner of the internet.
No, but it's not.
But I didn't have the voice I have now.
But you were there perpetuating the myth of the Chernobyl blackbird. It's okay.
The lie?
The lie.
The bald-faced lie?
Perpetuated the myth.
Oh, God. Yeah, no. I mean,
every time I hear it mentioned.
My track record is nightmarish.
It's mentioned quite a bit. I'm like, that's Rob's lie. You son of a bitch. It's your own tulpa.
It's
your own. You made it.
I mean, why not? Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I've never lied on purpose.
No.
Ever.
No.
But no, I'm not mad. I just think it's important that you know.
It's okay. We're all here. We're all supporting you in this.
Yeah. So, we may not have a full or accurate representation of what these Kentucky teens actually saw, but it seems pretty clear that it's along the same lines of those who had come before them. So again, the more traditional aspects were probably what attacked them. That's just not what was dramatically reenacted.
Right.
Whether these confusing cryptids represent, as some have suggested, the manifestation of a Native American curse, a modern satanic rite gone literally and figuratively south of heaven,
so dope,
or the time-worn chupacabra-esque chestnut of a dark-budget genetics experiment gone terribly awry, or simply a good old-fashioned Darwinian nightmare, it seems that the good folks of the Deep South are going to be saddled with the legacy and reality of the Sheepsquatch and its ilk, the other white devils, for decades, if not centuries, to come.
Oh, we did it, boys. Sheepsquatch, Birth of a Legend, one of my damn favorites. Robert, thank you for clearing up the misinformation, the disinformation, dare I say,
you did,
out there in the zeitgeist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you. Who are you?
Of the pop culture.
Using words.
Of the hubris of the producers and the creators of these shows that don't take the actual account, but they say, you know what? We got a really cool suit.
Yeah.
That we're going to make work. And you know what? The suit they did have was really cool. But you are correct. It is not. It is not.
It is not a wampa.
It is not a wampa.
Not a goat.
It is not close to actually
that's the kangaroo
what they
version.
saw.
Yeah.
The wampa.
Yeah. The wampa, it would be kind of cool.
Wamparoo?
Wamparoo.
Oh, that'd be a good
That would be pretty freaking dope. All right. So real quick here, round the table. What do we think the origins of the Sheepsquatch are? Because you did make a point here that there is ample breeding ground.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room.
And they're not limited to a single state.
No, they're not.
I mean, there are legends.
We sort of have one in New York.
Sort of with Copenhagen Devil.
Yeah.
But there's definitely legends in Alabama and obviously Kentucky that we dealt with. Virginia and West Virginia seem to have the preponderance of sightings. But I wouldn't be surprised if from Georgia to Louisiana, similar things have been seen at some point.
Yeah.
There is, at some point, we're going to do the Morgan Ridge monster, which is definitely a more occult-oriented, just nefarious fuck all. I mean, we'll just deal with that when the time comes. But this seems to be more corporeal, more grounded in a biological reality. This, unlike other stories that show these things disappearing or accounts where they attack people and these people feel like their guts are being ripped out of their fucking gullet, and then they end up not being injured at all. None of these apply to Sheepsquatch.
Okay,
but
yeah,
these
yeah.
do apply to other white devils and white things that are seen throughout
All right,
the
so
South.
we're thinking this thing is like terrestrial cryptid,
but here's
flesh and blood, if you will.
the problem is it can be one or the other.
Okay.
You don't have side-facing eyes and horns and a predatorial maw. No logic in that.
No,
There's no
there is-
precedent for that whatsoever at all, period, on Earth. Now, that doesn't mean it can't happen. It doesn't mean it wouldn't happen on an alien planet. It doesn't mean in an and it doesn't mean there can't be a first fucking time. But to me, it seems like the most logical explanation would be a weird mutant fucking gunpowder drinking, red runoff fucking Inside Out prophecy bear from like I'm talking about the 1979
dude.
movie.
Funky.
Where it is just a mutated, dirty, piss-ridden bear that has like extra long paws that look kind of like hands,
Right.
and maybe weird growths that look like fucking horns from a distance.
Oh,
I mean, I don't want it to all be cancerous growths. That's not the fun cryptid.
Pissy cancer bear.
Pissy cancer
That sucks.
bear.
Maybe.
That sucks.
All right, so I'm just saying. All right, so just going for the most mundane,
Yeah.
prosaic, like this. People have really seen this, and we need to justify it. That would be my base ground level science.
I'm
Shit
gonna
science.
say-
but
No,
science.
yeah, I mean, a bear makes kind of the most sense for sure. But then there was one account of 4 eyes, which we're like, okay.
Yeah, that throws
that's
everything.
interesting.
But all of them say that they're very light furred. I'm like,
Yes.
even like the lightest brown bears aren't maybe
No.
as light as that. I don't know. So I mean, you're talking bear has to be first because I think most of it fits with the bear.
Most of it fits
It does.
bear.
And then
Yeah.
secondarily, like some sort of goatish thing,
Right.
Master goats.
Dude, the man
There's
who
no
run
signal
West
there.
Virginia, Master
the
Goat.
Master goats.
Yeah, who run Boone
Because
County?
horns. I mean,
Yeah.
bears just don't have fucking goat
No.
horns.
They don't have
Or any
horns.
No,
They don't have side eyes unless they're mutated.
Side eyes is weird though. That's
And-
really
and
fucked.
Genetic mutations, the eyes tend to drift wide.
However,
Oh
though,
no,
like
really?
we have the fucking
Oh,
we have the the albino deer
Right.
yeah.
that
There
are
was just
because it's a secluded breeding population.
there's just a listener that hit
But the
hit me up
horns.
about that. It's Samson. Samson State Park has the albino deer too, I think, or I could be confusing it with Rome. But yeah, no, there is.
No, Rome definitely has a population of white deer.
I think Samson State Park is the one where
They
were,
might
like,
too.
They were like testing like nuclear missiles and shit over there or something.
I mean,
Weird underground base. Anyway,
Well, that's just inbreed. It doesn't have to be
right? But no,
mutants.
the albino
But-
aspect, yeah, for sure. Like that would definitely bring that. And like you said though, with the mutation plus, oh yeah, man, this is some weird inbred like hills have eyes shit. And this thing's every generation the eyes just get wider to the back of the head.
I mean,
Yeah.
And then that's it, dude.
I mean, I could totally buy that for bears for sure, but like it doesn't explain the horns.
no,
No, it doesn't.
Bears,
explain the horns.
you're not just going to grow horns.
no.
I
Could
don't
be
care how
some-
much
it
you're
could be some
porking
weird
your
growth.
relatives.
Could be some
Look, horns
super
make no
weird.
sense.
If it is some
growth.
weird calcified growth that from
Yeah.
a distance looks like horns, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not saying I necessarily think that's the case.
No.
That's just
I
my,
think it's-
like-
It's interesting to put out there though.
You always got to put the cancer bear next to the devil, next to the diabetes.
Yeah, never take any of that off the table.
Yeah.
Now, I was obviously a want to jump to interdimensional.
Of course.
I do, because then it would explain like it's not of this world. But my new jam, and they sometimes often overlooked, is the underground, the dwelling in the earth. The things crawl, kind of like the way I talked about with the one that was in New York.
yeah.
Yeah, that thing was living under the ground and it came up. Would explain the side eyes.
Why does underground
Because
explain
as you're
side eyes?
crawling underground, you can see both sides of the tunnel. You see what I'm saying?
I thought you were going to go with definitely like the lack of pigmentation. I thought you were definitely going to say white is explicable by
can see
being
both sides of
Mediterranean.
it.
No, I definitely would
get-
say that the white fur would indicate yes, lack of pigmentation.
I can't.
There is a lot of cave
I'm-
systems there. You cannot deny.
I cannot
There's a lot of
deny.
cave
Sure.
systems, and there's a lot of quartz deposits in the area.
I'm very
Could be either-
uncomfortable with large mammals populating underground cavern systems
Why not,
that
though?
are
Bears-
that are unknown.
Bears do that all the time.
Sure, bears use caves to hibernate. Yeah.
But if there's a network tunnel of this shit under West Virginia, that would be a perfect fucking spot to hide. And, dare
Okay.
I say, start your civilization.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that.
Okay.
They could be living
what
down
would be,
there.
What would be
All right,
the
that's
reason
fair.
for just a standard ops bear
Right.
to do their cave thing and just decide, hey, let's not go out of the cave and stay in the cave.
It may. Oh,
'Cause where's the food in the fucking cave?
I didn't even think it was a bear. I just thought it was some weird subterranean creature. But bringing the bear is interesting because then it has this weird evolution underground because it's no longer with its bear friends up top. It's under the ground in West Virginia in the caves with the new civilization, and it's a whole evolutionary
it
offshoot.
needs to develop walleye to help see in caves, as you established.
Yeah, because you can see both sides
and
of the cave.
then weird bony protrusions that only superficially resemble horns, so it can move rocks out of the way while it burrows.
I didn't think about that, but that's a good point. Thank you for further proving my point.
I mean, if you're saying it's a physical creature, then it had to come from some species.
It could, and the reason it has the evolutionary offshoot is because it went underground.
Okay.
For safety.
All right, it is a theory.
This is kind of like Nightbreed, but for fucking nature.
Midian.
Yeah, dude, Midian
Right,
with a fucking God's an astronaut or whatever the fuck.
They all had
cool moon face dude
horns and
said.
weird shit.
Man, that shit's so cool, man.
It was a dope movie, and I wish they had finished.
I wish
the
NECA
trilogy.
would make the fucking toys, the action figures.
They never
of
did?
fucking Midian, no.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they will
That'd
someday.
be cool.
Just to get the Cronenberg like serial killer, fucking
dude.
button eye
Yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah.
Man, and those cool beasts, those berserker dudes that the guys like, get them boys, and the guys go running and shit. I don't know what the hell those things were. Cool
I don't remember
creatures.
either. It was a flawed but super dope film,
Dude, it was
Yeah,
so
it was fun.
dope.
and it deserved more.
So, Chris, where are you going with the Sheepsquatch? What you got?
I mean, I feel like we
Honestly, we
kind of talked about
think
that.
we actually hit everything it could. Well, we didn't say demon.
I
'Cause
mean-
it could be demon.
Oh yeah, just
I'm-
because when
Alien?
you eat gunpowder, you smell like sulfur doesn't mean you can't be from hell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No, it's true.
Right.
It's true. It could be.
Just because you don't want to jump on that bandwagon doesn't mean it can't
No.
be interdimensional.
I'm
Because there are no
hell is
like Ovid Urside hybrids with raccoon-like hands
Well, yeah, no.
on Earth, but maybe an alternate Earth,
yeah.
like that little pocket
Or-
where like Bigfoot hide,
Or in hell.
or in hell,
Or in hell.
alternate Earth, hell, alien planet, underground cave system, which was the most absurd yet somehow the most discussed aspect.
I think that we constantly overlook that there's things that live in the earth because there's plenty of cave systems
Sure.
all over the fucking U.S.
Do you think we've done
People
a
are not
grave
down
disservice
there.
to our podcast
We
by
have.
not
Well,
addressing the subterranean
Yes, because
factor?
I'm always like, oh, you think it's interdimensional. No, asshole. It's not. I'm calling myself an asshole. Not you guys. I love you guys.
That's
love
fair.
You both. I
Okay.
love you both
Love you
equally.
too. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
God.
Christopher, love you.
You're
Yeah,
not an
thanks.
asshole.
All right, there you go. Just saying.
It's well done.
I'm always fucking interdimensional guy. But what if the fucking answer's in front of our face and it's inter-earth shit? It's caves,
I don't think caves can create this same biodiversity as an entirely different evolutionary schema in another dimension. Like you are given a lot more leeway
Okay.
by
All
being
right, fair,
interdimensional than by
fair.
being fucking subterranean.
Fair.
Which doesn't mean
Yeah.
that some of these things can't be subterranean.
We're not taking
Like the-
subterranean off the table.
The yellow what's it?
Yeah.
Subterranean as fuck. With its big digging hands and its fucking big fucking eyes
This
and
thing,
its jaundicey
but this
skin.
thing does have hands that would work very well underground.
Well, I mean, what if you're gently picking rocks and throwing them? It's got like,
Gently picking anything. The thing's got big old massive hands with dexterity.
but
with
it doesn't have
claws
like
and shit.
it doesn't have like digging mole hands, and it should have no eyes, not 4 eyes. If you live in the fucking darkness.
Maybe the 4 eyes helps with the low light.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Now you've pinned me. You've pinned me to the
Yeah,
mat, and now
there you
I'm
go.
now they're
I've-
counting
I mean,
me
that's
out.
never really happened except for like insects.
I have pinned you to the cryptozoological mat, good sir.
Yeah, does it feel good?
Yeah, it does.
You proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Next time.
we got the 3 count on that. There it is. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Cryptonaut podcast. Oh shit, Sheepsquatch. We did it. I'm so stoked. Thank you, Robert.
Classic cryptid.
This is
Yeah.
what classic cryptid. I
No,
love
it's
it.
not even it's not
It
classic in the sense of like Sasquatch or Nessie. It's classic in the sense of neoclassic.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun.
It's right up there with like Dogmen in terms of the nearly ubiquitous new cryptids.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
I mean, I remember when Chupacabra was the new kid on the block back in the 90s, and that was an exciting time, like pre-American Monsters,
Yeah. Yeah.
any of our ability to be involved in like pop culture and because there was no internet, nothing to really, I was just like, oh shit, there's this new thing and it's fascinating.
Yeah.
'Cause I was into it as a lot of people were. But in terms of like the third tier fucking classics, like Dogmen, Sheepsquatch, a handful of others, and it's gotten a lot of press and deserves a lot of press, but it is not what your Fallout 76 is telling you. As cool as a porcupine spine zombie goat man thing is.
Yeah, Fallout 76 is,
and that's fine.
I should probably get back to that game.
Entertainment's
some point.
fine.
I really should get back to that game.
But that's, and I'm glad that they wanted to employ cryptids in their gamut.
Oh yeah, no,
like
100%.
I think that's boss. And I don't mind them taking artistic license. That's not what the deal is.
Yeah,
the deal is this is a thing, and this is what people claim to have seen. And it does sometimes run on hind legs.
Yeah.
Awkwardly, sometimes nimbly, sometimes, like I said. But for the most part, it is a quadrupedal, weird hybrid of two types of creatures that should never be found in the same creature.
Yeah.
And either this is an act of evolution, this is an act of mutation, this is an act of interdimensional fucking banditry. This is a demon from the depths of hell.
Oh, or
this is an alien
curse.
popping down. Or ye old accursed creature that comes from some nether region, sort of like Mothra, where it's not evil, it's there to defend its own people, and it will fuck you up if you are the enemy.
Another reference. It's like Rawhead Rex.
Oh, so like classic pagan mayhem.
Or like a pumpkin head. It gets released in its revenge.
Yeah.
So there's like multiple ones, though?
Actually, it would make sense because there was multiple pumpkin heads.
Was there?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
See, I don't know past the first Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, no, there was like there was multiple pumpkin heads because it kept happening.
Yeah,
like over and over again.
I just always assumed it was the same
pumpkin head coming back.
No,
That's what
didn't
I
they
would
end up burying like Lance Henriksen as the pumpkin head? Is like the next one?
Fucked if I know.
I think they did.
I know. I think I saw like 1, 2, and like 5. I think I have 5 on DVD at home.
Really?
But,
the one with the kid playing at the well. Yeah.
Was that it? I don't even know.
That was one of them. Yeah.
They made 5?
I think they goddamn got close, I think.
Is anyone still pissed? I know I've covered this before, I have to. That it didn't have a goddamn jack-o'-lantern head. I wanted Pumpkinhead to look like it had a gourd-ass monster jack. I wanted it to be a monstrous great pumpkin.
It was
was exact because it's a fictional thing. And when Stan Winston came out with his like weird lumpy-ass alien reject, I was like, fuck,
it's
dude.
a cool revenge
Don't call it Pumpkinhead.
Yeah,
then.
I know. I wanted definitely more of a gourd aspect to it.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, so I'm not alone.
Yeah,
I
like it though.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but as soon as I watch, first off, the movie's boring. It takes forever to get going.
It's slow as fuck.
It's slow as shit. I mean, it's justifiable revenge, which is a theme I like in cinema. But in the end, you end up like having your mixed, like you don't want the kids to die, but you don't think they deserve to live, so it ends up not being fun. And the pumpkin head doesn't have a fucking pumpkin head.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
So fuck that movie.
There
fuck that franchise. Fuck them all.
All right, listen, we did it. We nailed it.
We did.
Hit. You know what? Let us know what you think's going on with the old Sheepsquatch out there. Let us know.
Is
what
it
you
a
think.
cryptid? Is it paranormal? Is it interdimensional? Is it extraterrestrial? Paranormal can also be
revenge
demon.
Yep.
Or hellspawn.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
And also to where Sasquatch.
Or
where
subterranean
Sheepsquatch.
mutant.
Where Sheepsquatch.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there it
I
is.
forgot
Robert
we did that one too.
Patreon shout outs to do for the good
bless 'em all.
folks that support us over there.
I love them.
Patreon.
Each and every one.
.com/Cryptonaut podcast. Kick it off, Robert.
John J. Hillborn.
Thank you, John. We appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. We were debating this one. I'm going to go with Chiron Brophy.
Thank you, Chiron.
I think I got it. It might be Chiron.
I don't know.
Like Cairo with an N, but I'm going to go with Chiron Brophy. If we got it wrong, you know you can ask for another one. Yeah. Roberto Magnifico.
Hell yeah, Roberto. Oh. Thank you.
Brooke Anderson.
What up, Brooke?
Fish.
Thank you, Fish.
Barney Miller fame. Thank you, Abe Vigoda. Oh, fucking. I like that you're a patron beyond the grave. Matt S.
Thank you, Matt.
Jacob Glanville.
Thank you, Jacob.
Tree Forts.
Hell yeah, Tree Forts supporting us. We appreciate it.
I love that. Michael Frazier.
Michael, thank you for your continued monthly support. Good sir.
And last but not least, and I hope I'm not throwing verbal gang signs when I say this, S810.
S810.
That's my favorite robot bounty
S-hyphen.
Yeah, or is
S810.
that Chris's activation code?
I mean, he's already clearly in the field.
When you say it, then all of a sudden he's like the winter soldier.
Is he wearing like tactical fucking
He's already got the tactical
glasses?
shit on.
I know he's wearing tactical fucking jackets and hats.
Yeah.
I don't
with
feel like I'm
Halliburton
triggered.
No fucking logo hat. But I mean, is he going to start wearing like fucking night vision glasses?
No, you
and
just said it, so it would happen now.
Yeah, it'd be happening right now.
Yeah, but I'm not triggered.
He'd have to,
SA10.
he'd have to kill all.
Yeah.
He had to kill both of us.
S810. Oh, he's not transforming on purpose to save us.
Yeah.
That's his. It's him showing his love.
Exactly.
I don't
That's
think
how he
that's how that
shows
works.
that
I
he
pretend I
loves
didn't say
us.
it.
Thank-
UV40.
That was
UV 40?
That was the
Really?
counteractive. That was the
Fucking-
code that made him calm down and not have to kill us.
Fucking red wine, really?
Red wine.
Okay. Patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast. Check it out over there. Oh, the $10 tier is launched, and you can watch us do this podcast in a video format.
How exciting.
You will also get the ad-free
What's happening
episode, so you're not going to end up hearing my you're not going to hear my expert read,
No.
but I'm just saying, people like it.
Oh, I love your
Okay,
reads.
yeah.
People like my expert read. I mean,
Your
We'll see.
ads are like a form of artistry unto
we'll
themselves.
see what happens there. Also, too, you're going to be getting the Patreon episode video, and you're going to be getting the regular Patreon out there. And during the week, you're going to be getting the video on the Wednesday and the Friday. And recently, there was a video put up where it's a Mark free.
It's hard.
Mark's not there. Peyton steps in. She fills in
Yeah.
for me because I had a major issue at work.
You are our
So,
North Star. And so
Yeah.
Chris ably stepped
Chris,
in as
he
a
did
host.
it. He totally did
And
it.
Peyton filled in. And you know what? We did, I think, an exemplary job.
You guys did phenomenal. You guys did great.
Yeah.
It's super cool. It's super cool.
We got
So-
a few more of those that are going to
Yeah.
be spread out
We
randomly.
got a few
Yep.
more of those coming up, so check it out. That's all available on the new tier Hell or Space, which again is available at patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast. We got the merch at cryptonautmerch.com. We got the merch at the Hell or Space, the
Yeah, we
T
do.
Public, which we might have an announcement next week for some new T Public items if they ship in time.
Wow.
So we'll see what happens.
That's exciting.
True.
I'm not sure if the people in the video can see what's behind you. They might be able to see it over that way. I'm not sure, but
I
you
don't
know,
know.
if they can
I-
sneak a peek,
Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
we got some T Public shit coming up
know.
there.
Would you
Oh,
add?
maybe you can. Maybe you can.
I don't know. I have no
Not
idea.
Sure. Okay. Well, regardless, we got
Okay.
some new T Public stuff
It's a
happening.
little bit there.
Check us out as always. The Instas, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the socials, the medias. We're doing it.
Yeah, we are.
Helping the collapse of society, the downfall of mankind. But join there, comment, see what you can do, hang out.
Sure.
Send us your shit. I love getting the
Yeah.
DMs. DMs are fucking dope. People send me stories and links and all kinds of fun shit, super
Yeah.
funny videos. Fucking love it. So there it is.
Doing it.
And we got some thank yous.
Oh shit, we do. Yes, actually coming here from a listener of ours, Carrie Bernard. Carrie is an author, and Robert is going to be showing it on the camera, so those of you can the
This is
video
her
can
book?
see it. So Carrie here, she's an author. Again, KW Bernard, novelist, naturalist, and weirdo, which is super cool. Check out KW Bernard. That's KWBERNARD.com. Check her website out. She's on the Facebook. She's on the Twitters or the X's. She's on the Instagrams. So she actually sent this book, which is her book. It's called Drained, One Touch,
Yeah.
and It's Over, which is super fucking dope. She sent a copy for Peyton,
Yeah.
and then she sent a copy for my wife, Nicole. Now, I opened the book.
Nice.
I opened it real quick because I was like, okay, this is supposed to be a little spicy. I opened it up. I saw some spicy words.
Oh.
I said, oh my God, Nicole, look at this. Look, and she was like, oh yeah, they say that stuff all the time. I was like, really? It's like, oh, this shit's dirty.
Is it dirty elves?
Dirty, dude.
Dirty elves?
This
I mean,
shit's
yeah.
dirty.
That's the
Well, it's
deal.
probably not elves. It's monsters, right?
It says in the book right there.
I think so too.
Yeah, but
I
so
think
check
it was
that out.
specified
Drained.
monsters.
And again,
Also, I want to give a mad shout out because I was also sent this
yes.
to add to the personal library. So thank you, the Mythical Creatures of Maine. I'm super stoked. Can't wait. I will be reading this post haste, and surely it will show up in future fucking pods.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So again, thank you so very much, Carrie, and that is KW Bernard. .com, and again, the social medias, check her out there. You can check all of her work out on her website. Follow her on the socials.
Thank you.
Tell her that we said what up, and of course, thank you so much for the books. It's awesome.
Honestly, the
My wife's
gifts
got
are
it.
spectacular.
Peyton's-
Pepe is going to lose her shit.
Peyton's going to be getting it, so yeah, it's super awesome. And thank you to everyone that also that likes to send us gifts and stuff like that. Super
yeah,
cool.
for sure.
I love. We got a new mail dude, Jake, who's super cool. He's a great guy. He hits me up. He's like, "You guys got a package?" I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go. I'm getting some
Nice.
packages." So super dope. We love it. It's exciting. Thank you so much for your continued support. It's pretty
For
awesome. We've been able to come this far.
Oh my God.
It's actually, I just randomly stop and think about it. I'm like, God damn, if you would have told me fucking however many years ago that like myself and two of my fucking best friends are going to have a semi-popular podcast that you guys are fucking living off of.
Yeah.
And that I'm
No, that's the
helping
deal.
pay a majority of my bills with, like, fucking A, dude. That's how fucking dope is that?
I never
It's
would have
so
seen
cool.
it coming.
No, it is
it's
dope.
fucking
I was glad to just do
dope and
this to
weird.
hang out with you fuckers
Yeah.
and have a good time.
And now here you go, man.
It's just bonus.
Yeah.
All bonuses
Thank
all
you.
around. Thank you all so very much, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Goodbye, good friend.
Erotically challenged.
Mark Store is erotically charged. Yeah, it's a Monday, dude.
It could be a little hyphen, like a little
Dude,
backslash.
erotically charged.
Erotically
challenged. Yeah.
Erotically charged.
Dude, I spent so much time at work last week, man. Ooh, I had to get out.
Yeah.
I had to get out, and I just got home, and I was just an uncaged animal in my yard, just
In my yard.
in my yard.
I know. I was
drinking.
expecting this to be more Nick based,
No,
but okay.
no,
Yeah,
just
no,
in
huh?
the yard, just drinking, hanging out.
Right
Did
on.
actually got a ton of shit done. It was super,
All right,
cool.
right.
Super fucking excited. So there's, thank you all.
Long
and
work.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah. See ya.